tried to impart to you the facts of why I believe we need to increase the staffing, not by a large amount at this time, but those 4 positions, which is times 4.3, 18 people. That's a major part of it. Secondly, we haven't currently been funding an apparatus replacement fund. Those big red trucks and ambulances covering 70 square miles, 7,000 calls per year, it's a lot of wear and tear on those vehicles. I want to create a savings account, an apparatus replacement fund, so that when we need to replace it, and the life of those fire trucks, I'm building that plan for a 25-year life. So I think I'm being conservative. 12 years frontline, and they go in reserve for 12 years. But I need to fund an apparatus replacement fund. That's number 2. Number 3 is an equipment replacement fund. You see that air pack that weighs 70 pounds? It's the thin line between living and dying our members when they enter a house. Let me try to bring it home in a reality. About 3 weeks ago, maybe 4, close to here, the station that covers this area responded to a mobile home fire in the early morning of a weekday morning. There was flames coming out of the mobile home upon arrival. And do you know how many people arrived on the fire engine? 2. Mobile home. It takes highly technical skills to manage the hydraulics, because it's still a simplistic method that we control fire. We use this agent called H2O. It's almost
lake water.
Yeah, it's water. We have to make that happen when we arrive. Water on the fire to control that, and then we search. And we need to wear that protective equipment, breathing air, in order to search. They controlled the fire quickly, and then immediately searched, and they found close inside of the front door a person that was unconscious, had been overcome by smoke and minor burns. Unconscious. Located a victim. They withdrew the victim out and began life-saving efforts. Regained a heartbeat, a pulse, and transported into the hospital. Now that is a reality that happened a few blocks from here and a few weeks ago. So I'm just trying to put into a frame of reference the staffing intensive, time critical, and highly technical nature of the work that we do. Captain.
And on that note, that protective gear, which has a 10-year life cycle, is $2,000 per set.
Thank you.
Wow. And then the thermal imaging cameras that we use to help locate victims in there, they're $9,000 each. So it's the air packs are thousands of dollars each. So when you times that by the amount of people that we need, you're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars, which is what the M&O that's being replaced has done, is funded, helped fund that equipment replacement.
Thank you, Captain. See how he brought me back to the equipment replacement fund? I veered off. Thanks for bringing me back. We weren't funding that in a continuous way. So the third thing, staffing, apparatus replacement fund, and equipment replacement fund. The equipment will replace air packs, hose, defibrillators, and one other major, and the gear, that personal protective clothing that's back there. Those are the major pieces of equipment replacement fund. Those 3 main things, maintenance and operations led. Okay? Now the financial, yes?
They have to be fitted to the individuals too.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, much of it does.
When you hire new people,
it's mostly the mask.
yeah,
Gear is also fitted.
new stuff.
Yeah,
Do the boots come with pants attached?
they don't.
Don't you slide down that pole and pull on them things?
Now, see, I'm going to sound old, but the first fire station I worked in had a pole, and I used to slide the pole. And there was a real technique too. I could be eating a sandwich, get on the pole, and slide the pole because there was a pole. But we stopped having poles in fire stations, even 2-story. Does Central Pierce have any 2-story stations? Because firefighters eating sandwiches sometimes would slip, and when they hit the bottom, there was back injuries. So we said, we can take the stairs. We don't need the poles anymore. I did that.
Okay,
And
but
then we had
are the pants attached to the boots?
Not.
Yeah, they used to show them that way.
Yeah,
They- they-
they're inside of it. Are you set up that way, Ryan?
Yeah, they used to be, but now they're.
I mean, they're still in the pants, and you pull them on, but they're not actually sewn together.
Sorry.
So that's so you can get into them quickly.
There you go.
So we roll our pants down. So then when I go in,
Oh, okay.
I just pop my foot in like this,
Oh, we're timing you now,
and then I
Captain.
just pull out.
Yeah.
See, now it's all
Wow.
time sensitive.
See, that was a dumb question after all,
That
wasn't it?
no, it's time sensitive. Okay.
Now you know, John.
6 minutes is our goal. For fires, I mean, see
6 minutes to get out of the station?
6 minutes to arrive.
Yeah. From the call.
Now,
So you only have
that's
seconds to get
impossible
back here,
for
right?
us when
Under
we're
60 is what we're
Yeah.
with 2 people. We leave that area uncovered when we transport a medical call. In medical instances, the brain damage is irreversible after 6 minutes. See, now we want all people also this occurrence in a mobile home. What we were behind the power curve, there was an early notification for that unfortunate person. And I'm talking about just a smoke detector. Very effective early notification, right? And then the rest of that process is that we are able to deploy and arrive quickly. Staffing, intensity, time sensitive. Okay. Now, some financials of this operations levy. In 2014, what was approved was a 60 cents per $1,000 of assessed value. What we're asking for on February 13th is the same thing, a 60 cent per $1,000 of assessed valuation. So that's why it's a replacement. So what that does, I use a number in Graham Fire and Rescue, a median home price of $300,000. That's in the area that we serve. Now Tom's going to use a different number because Bethel School District is a lot bigger than Graham Fire and Rescue. So our median home price in our area is $300,000. So to kind of make it real, currently for a $300,000 home, this maintenance and operations levy, M&O, is $118 per year. If approved, February 13th, it'll go to $180 per year because assessed value is going up. So that's a $61.50 increase per year in that M&O. In the 4 years, $61.50 for a $300,000 home per year increase. So I wanted to include that in the.
Are your assessed values altered every year, or do they remain for the life of the?
Well, assessed value, we can only project what it's going to do. And we used a conservative, I think it was 6% that we used as a projection. So it's 60 cents per thousand when approved for 2019. And that rate drops off to, we project in the 4th year, 51 cents per thousand. Because assessed value is projected to go up as the population comes in. It's projected. Does that make sense to you? Okay.
An important thing for people to remember too is there's 2 different types of levies. There's the one that are a set value, like there's a $7 million, I'm just picking a number, like a $7 million is what it is. So as house prices go up and down, that amount will go up and down each year. Most fire districts are not so much. So like when the economy went bad, fire departments were laying off people and took some real serious hits because it's based upon so many cents per value. So if home goes up, yes, but it can also go the other direction. And when it went bad, a lot of departments are still recovering from the crash.
Right.
So something important to remember,
Every
they have to
taxing
balance
district.
that out.
Right.
As a junior taxing district, it's 60 cents per if your house goes up, but if all of a sudden house prices go down, your department takes a big hit.
Correct.
This concludes Part 2 of the Fredrickson Clover Creek Community Council. Please check your listing for Part 3.